Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, Director's Cut. So we were talking to this guy, and now we're going to have to talk to him again and see if the few conversations we did exhaust are come back or not.
Hi, can you spare a few minutes?
What do you want now?
You get a little bit different dialogue the second time you talk to him. So what we did exhaust as far as conversation pieces are gone still, so that's a good indicator. That helps prevent us from doing repetitive actions, which could become a problem in any point and click or puzzle game in general. So let's ask him about the newspaper and the business card, and then we'll ask him about the toolbox, which is what we really came here for, is we need some kind of crowbar or lever to remove the sewer drain.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
So I give him the newspaper and he actually does something.
Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tcha! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is. Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
Well, there were some conversations I could have had there that I found the solution. He did mention that he liked horses in the circus, and that was the only little hint we had here. But eventually would have probably tried giving him everything. It's kind of strange that you would only get a 10-minute break in France. The stereotype is much more that French people have a lot of time off and long breaks, and they kind of take a more relaxed lifestyle anyways. So he may very well be the hardest working man in France here. What's this? It's a phone, so I could call Nicole, or I could probably try this. Nope, can't call the
The card read Augustin Rousseau and gave an address to the south of the Montparnasse Cemetery.
But no phone number. Interesting. And I still can't go to the right, but that may just be a temporary thing because we're chasing after the guy. And we've got now a manhole key. So take this, drag it to this, and use it. And we're chasing after a dangerous killer who just blew up an entire cafe to kill one man.
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelled like the
briefcase,
entrance
too.
to a sewer.
And we didn't really address that very much. Down we go. He's walking down in a very normal animation when you usually would see them just be more action-y and jump down or climb down in some awkward way. Let's see. Looks like there's a red nose right here. Why would you have spears and a grate?
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
So, moving forward. And we are in quite an intricate sewer system. Also hear what sounds like bats screeching.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
So it seems like in quite a hurry the clown removed the grease paint on his face and his disguise.
I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike.
So it was kind of necessary to put these spikes here so that the cloth would be here, but it seems kind of ridiculous. Why would something so elegant be in the middle of a sewer? Why not just normal rods and the cloth got caught on a piece of rebar?
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back, and now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Let's see. I have no idea what this is supposed to be, and I guess this would just be a phone. So this almost looks like bad guys that would be the response, but let's just tell them the full truth.
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu, that is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
So how do I know it's not this guy?
And then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
So we've got a lot of stuff to ask here. Let's start with the clown, I guess.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Okay.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh,
really?
thank heavens.
She's concussed.
A poor girl like
That's
her
far from
isn't
fine.
safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
Ha! That's what you say.
Do you know Plantard?
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible.
Why would
I'll
this
find
random
him.
stranger know
Even
anything?
if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Bravo!
There's a lack of
Huh?
logic.
You need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Let's ask about the briefcase.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Well, I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
Let's see. Let's ask about this guy last.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
Just as I thought. You were up to no good down those sewers, weren't you?
One slip and I would have been up to my neck.
And then let's show him the other items.
Take a look at this false nose.
I've never seen it before in my life.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone had emptied their nostrils into it.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
Interesting. Why is he not telling me anything?
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
That seems strange. Let's give the card to the police.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
I'll pretend to be a police officer.
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was
So as soon as I
fighting for my
pretend to
life
be a police
in the
officer, he
African
starts
desert.
working with me.
How can I help you, Inspector?
And so now I have all these questions again to ask.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
It seems really strange that he wouldn't help you before, but the whole reasoning behind me investigating is very strange. I'm just being a very busybody ne'er-do-well. This is the exact opposite of what any police agency would ever want anybody to do, because any evidence I come within a mile of is now potentially tampered with by me. Any case you try to get a conviction on against the clown could be thrown out of court easily because you have this untrained, untrustworthy tourist running around collecting evidence under no authority.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no. He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture.
So let's ask all the questions again.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Okay, that's weird.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, it was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair.
Really?
A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
So you sent this jacket that you tore off a person who broke in to repair in less than what feels like 5 minutes of this happening? This is very weird. Time moved forward, and yet the game didn't say time moved forward. What they should have done is had the real police detective question me and then say, like 1 hour later, after the questioning happened, he'd say something along the lines of, I just have a few more questions, then 1 hour later, and then it would make a lot more sense. But since that didn't happen, things are just moving forward at a ridiculously fast pace.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck.
Really?
Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not as so. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
I guess I still have questions about the jacket, so let's just exhaust them all.
What was the name on the label?
I'm kind of bored with it,
It was
actually.
a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
So we have nothing more to talk about, so we'll
I have
here.
to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
So I'm gonna walk out the doorway, and it's gonna put me right back here.
So the clown had escaped into the sewer, come up into the courtyard, and then slipped back into the street here. It wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had got.
So we move forward, and our diary recognizes that. So phone number right here, there's 2 people I can call, and since I don't really have anything to say to her, I really shouldn't call her, but let's do it anyways. See what they say. Can just barely hear
Hello,
the phone
Nico
ringing.
Collard.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
Interesting.
I was used to working alone, but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case too. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? And why did he murder Carchon? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there. But who was on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my desk.
This is very strange. First of all, the audio sounds a lot better. And second of all, I'm pretty sure in the original game you never came over here and played as her. In fact, I don't even think we see her apartment until the second game. So there's a whole other switch around here that we've just now moved into a completely different game interwoven into the original game. And it has Nicole play a much more prominent role, which she does play a pretty prominent role in the continuing of the series. And so by adding these extra scenes, then she becomes more of the original game. Like when Broken Sword originally came
Teddy.
out,
Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him.
even today by most standards, it's still hard to convince video game creators to allow the player to play as a girl, or by default force the player to play as a girl. And so it's not surprising that, if I'm remembering correctly, that you didn't play as Nicole, even though she was a much more important character even originally. It was about 50-50 though. Honestly, they were both kind of innocent bystanders. What's in here? And because of the added on, I think that means they can throw in more puzzles that we wouldn't have seen. Instead of just the usual inventory, find an item, find where that item works. But we can get actual puzzles in the game. Here's the elephant that
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's.
So, if it never had a key, can I just do this?
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's.
So, this key doesn't fit it, right? Nope. No real response or anything here. No. So I feel like I'm gonna end up just breaking the elephant. It's so strange to be playing parts of a game. Imagine your favorite movie. Something where you know every scene, every idea, every line of dialogue. And then you watch it one day and there's an extra hour, extra characters, extra scenes. So am I sitting at the desk? Did I just sit at the desk for no reason? Why would the game even give me that option? I figured there was going to be something under the table or you were going to break the leg off. We're clicking on items, but there's not actually...
You have no messages.
And because this is new content, the audio sounds so much better. It's shockingly...
It was a photograph of my father. The first one I ever took. With the first camera he ever bought me.
Your finger's in the way? But I suppose that's forgivable if you're the first picture you've ever taken in your life. Seems like I can change the music. But
No, I'm not giving up.
Interesting. Even new music to the game. Thought I could click on the camera, but I guess I can't.
I'm not giving up. No, I'm not giving up.
And this is a fully voiced song.
On you. 'Cause
Will it keep playing if I go on the next room?
If we work it will make it through.
No. So, yeah, I remember the second game having all these elements. Maybe I'm remembering things wrong. Seems kind of strange that it would give me more things.
Collard.
Oh, hello there. Don't tell me. I'm going to meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so. Why would you say that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Anyway, your cousin's female and very pretty.
What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And in my apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were also very dangerous.
So they've been watching her for quite a while now.
I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine.
Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, I'd better be going. See what my sweet cousin's been getting up to.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
So, we can move forward. We're on page 7 here. Look at the graphics just on the book. Modern graphics on top of very old graphics. It does not weave very well, but it's not super distracting since it's on top of it. But here we have some hand-drawn animation style stuff, and there you have a clearly 3D animated book. What's over this way? We could go to the Carchon residence, we can go to the cafe, and we can go to Ruggieri, which I believe is where we are.
So, where had my pretty new cousin hidden her little bug, eh? I was going to have to search everywhere.
Ah, that explains why there'd be something on the table. Let's play the music again. So there's actually a reason to play the music.
You have no messages.
She dries her clothes in the air. This nice tall roof. So I guess if you want to listen to the whole song, you've got to sit here and just listen to it all. Nah, it just fades out too. And I can't use items on
no.
items. So I can't smash anything, really.
My first teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him. Undisturbed. No bugs there.
Let's see, maybe the phone. Maybe the photo.
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
So I can't call George and go back to him.
It was a photograph of my father. The first one I ever took. With the first camera he ever bought me. They hadn't placed the bug on the photo.
And see, nothing on the messages, nothing on that. And so it kind of has to be over here, doesn't it? Let's see. And there's nothing on the sides here.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's. But that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition.
Ah.
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's. But that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition.
Underneath it in the chest is the bug. Here it is.
Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have. You don't scare me. Espèce de...
So she either threw it out the window or down the sink or something. And then I go all the way back here, which is kind of weird. So there's kind of a weird thing going on here, because now we have our inventory, we have our investigation, and we can walk around throughout the city doing things. And unless I've just become incredibly forgetful, which maybe I did, I don't think any of this was in the original game. I know the first part was definitely added. I looked on Wikipedia and I trust it enough to believe that that's true. But this also feels added in. And it feels strange, and the audio sounds better, which tells me that that very well may be the case. Anyways, though, we are going to be done with this recording right now, so let's go ahead and save and see how much progress the game considers it that we've done. 18%. So, like I said, we jumped from 12% to 18% just by doing a small section of the game. We won't be taking that long to beat this whole thing. That's going to be it for this recording, though. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. I hope that helps out. If you want to support me further, go to my main YouTube page. On the right there's a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.